That letter on your counter, it has a deadline. And when that deadline passes, someone else is making a $50,000 decision for you. I mean, I'm not being dramatic. That letter is from your student loan servicer. And it says that you have 90 days to choose a new repayment plan. Most people are going to ignore it. They're going to get busy, let it sit, and wake up one day enrolled in a plan that costs them more money, locks them into higher payments, and closes the door on forgiveness. But this, my friend, is not going to be you, because in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening, what your real options are, and the one calculation that will make this very clear very fast. So let's go. Now, let's do a quick background. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. But I've been talking about this for a while. I've made all these videos about it. But let me just get you up to speed. You are enrolled in a SAVE plan, one of the most popular income-driven repayment options the federal government has ever offered. In March of 2026, the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals officially struck it down. So SAVE is gone, it's over. So starting in July 2026, your loan servicer is required to send you a notice giving you 90 days to pick something new. And for you who are watching this video, you may have already received a notice, but you just haven't noticed it. Pun intended. And if you don't respond within that window, within the 90-day window, you will be automatically enrolled in either the standard repayment option or the new tiered standard plan. And here is why this matters. Neither of those plans have a forgiveness pathway tied to your income. The government is not sending you this letter because they're looking out for you. They're sending it to you because they're required to. What you do with it is entirely up to you. So I want to give you a few options of plans that you can choose. Option number one is the standard repayment plan. Now let's walk through what you're actually choosing between. First, the standard repayment, that is the default. It has always been the default. And if you graduated and never picked a plan, this is where you landed automatically. Under the old rules, fixed payments over 10 years based upon your loan amount. And every borrower qualified, same payment every month, regardless of your income. Under the new rules, starting July 1st, the standard plan gets a bit of an update. This new version is called the tiered standard plan. It stretches your repayment terms based on how much you owe. So 10 years if your balance is lower, and up to 25 years if your balance is higher. They're fixed payments, no income consideration, and here's the critical piece: no forgiveness, no pathway to cancel what's left at the end. You pay it down completely or you're still on the hook. And this may make sense if your income is high and your balance is relatively low. But if that is not you, then keep watching. Now, here's the part that nobody is talking about enough. If you miss that 90-day deadline and get auto-enrolled in the standard repayment, it's not just that your payments are higher. Something else happens on day one. It's called interest capitalization. Because when you think about how student loans work, there's a student loan principal bucket and a student loan interest bucket. And those buckets remain separate unless something happens. And this, my friend, is one of those events that causes them to combine. So I want to show you exactly what that does. Here's a real scenario. The average SAVE borrower has a balance of around $57,000 at a 6.7% interest rate. Now I know if you gone to medical school like me, your balance is a lot higher than that, which also means that the interest accrued while you have been in the SAVE forbearance is also a lot higher than anyone with a lower balance. So since SAVE was blocked in the courts back in 2024, most of you have been sitting in an administrative forbearance. No payments due. Now, since August 1st, 2025, that interest has been accruing every single month. By the time July 1st hits, that's roughly 1 year of unpaid interest stacking up on your balance. So we're talking somewhere around $3,800 sitting on top of your original loan amount. Now, here's where capitalization hits. The moment you get placed into a standard repayment, that $3,800 in accrued interest gets permanently added to your principal balance. You are no longer borrowing just $57,000. You are now borrowing $61,600. And from that day forward, you are paying interest on $61,600, not $57,000. That difference compounds every single month for the entire life of your loan. Now we're talking significantly more paid over time just from that one moment. Now compare that to RAP, the repayment assistant plan, where if your payment doesn't fully cover the interest, that unpaid interest is waived, not added to your balance, not compounded. Gone. that one structural difference is worth thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And this is why choosing the appropriate plan matters. And this is why you cannot let them choose for you. Option number 2 is the extended repayment plan, which stretches your payments out to 25 years. Lower monthly payments than the standard. Sounds attractive on paper, but here's what you're trading. You will pay significantly more interest over the life of your loan, and you have to have at least $30,000 in outstanding direct loans to qualify. Also, a critical point, the extended plan is only available if your loans were dispersed before July 1st, 2026. So new borrowers won't have access to it. And like the standard plan, no forgiveness pathway, you are paying this to zero, just slower and more expensively. So think of this as a slow bleed option, lower payments now, but a lot more paid over time. I want to pause here because I know all the student loan talk can be a bit overwhelming, and I want to help you alleviate that overwhelm by providing you with a resource that I created called the Student Loan Clarity System. This is literally my brain dump into a system to help you to choose between the income-based repayment option and the repayment assistance plan. Now, these two options are both income-driven repayment options that also qualify for PSLF. So if you are someone thinking that you want forgiveness, whether that's income-driven repayment forgiveness or public service loan forgiveness, this student loan clarity system will help you to decide which one is right for you. And because I'm so excited to help you, and because I know that so many people are confused, I've provided this at a discount. So if you want to know today which option is the best for you, so you don't miss the 90-day window and have capitalization and put yourself in a standard repayment option, then I've included the link below for you to purchase this today. Do not wait. This will help you to get really clear on what next steps you should take and educate you a bit more about how this decision today will impact you a decade in the future. Now let's get back to the video. All right. So now we've talked about kind of the standard repayment options. There are other options. One option that remains is an income-based repayment option. And this is one of the legacy income-driven repayment plans that survives permanently under the new law. Your monthly payment is tied to your income and your family size. So if your income drops, your payment drops. If you go through a hard season financially, this plan moves with you. And IBR has a forgiveness timeline after 20 to 25 years of qualifying payments. Whatever balance is left, it gets forgiven. Now, just a heads up, that forgiven amount is now taxable at the federal level starting in 2026. Pay as you earn and income contingent repayment are still options right now, but they are being phased out. They close to new enrollees on July 1st, 2026 and sunset entirely by July 1st, 2028. So if you are one of those, you need to be thinking about your next move now. And option 4 is RAP, Repayment Assistance Plan, the brand new option that was created under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And this is the replacement for SAFE, and it launches July 1st, 2026. So it becomes the primary income-driven option for anyone borrowing after that date. Your payments are based on a percentage of your adjusted gross income. And here's the protection that matters most. If your payment doesn't fully cover the interest, the unpaid interest is waived, not capitalized, waived. So that $3,800 that we had talked about before, that's taken care of by the government. No capitalization. Now, I know that the 90-day window sounds like a lot of time. It isn't, because life gets busy, the letter gets buried or, becomes at the bottom of the to-do list. And then September comes and you're suddenly enrolled in whatever they picked. Your accrued interest capitalized on your principal. Your payment fixed regardless of your income, and no forgiveness at the end of the road. Now, if you get in a standard repayment plan, you can always switch to an income-based repayment. So it's not the end of the world, but why make this mistake that could cost you thousands of dollars? The government is not sending this letter because they're looking out for you. They're sending it because they're required to. And what you do with it is entirely up to you. You've worked entirely too hard. You owe too much, especially if you went to graduate school, to let someone make this call for you. You are a smart individual. You need to take control, run your numbers, pick a plan. And if you're not sure, then download my student loan clarity system or schedule a call with me so that we can run the numbers and choose a plan with confidence. If this video helped you, then share it with someone you know who got that letter and hasn't opened it yet. They need to see this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.